Hey, Jason O'Flaherty here. This is a behind the scenes thing as a reward to my contributors who help donate to reach our goal of $1,000 for the Great Cycle Challenge. It's a fundraiser for children's cancer research, and I said that if we hit the $1,000 goal, I would release a behind the scenes video showing how I made this year's music video, and that is this video. You're going to see me when I'm in this outfit. That's recorded today. I'm going to jump back to some stuff that I recorded when I made the music video. And I'm just going to kind of show you the flow of how I put that music video together. Should be a nice, short, little fun video, and I hope you enjoy it. I am raising money for the Great Cycle Challenge. The Great Cycle Challenge is a charity where people from all across the United States raise money by cycling. And it's for children's cancer research. Now, you might remember last year I sang a song very well, if I might say, where I just sang the lyrics and put a nice little funny video together.
In the arms of the angel, far away from here, from this dark cold hotel room. That you feel.
This year I figured I'd up it just a little bit by changing the lyrics to a song. It's not going to be good, and I hope it makes you laugh enough that you'll consider donating. So without further ado, let's get into this thing. So when I'm recording, I come in my makeshift recording booth, and it's just a closet. I'm not going to knock because that'll set my dog off thinking someone's at the door. But this is just a closet. I knocked. My dog is now barking. Yeah, it's just a closet. My office is a bedroom converted. I don't have any sound dampening in here, which I probably should do at some point. Brought this out a little bit so I could talk to the microphone when I recorded it. But my microphone that I use is a Sennheiser E953. It's a cardioid microphone, so it just picks up right in front of the microphone. I have a pop filter so that when I go when you make your P's or your B's, it helps eliminate that. Plus, it keeps spit off of your microphone. This is just a little reflection shield so you don't get as much echo. This makes a huge difference. I'm going to cut between what the camera picked up on its microphone compared to what this picks up. And you can see that without this, it would sound pretty bad. And I would ride 200 miles, and I would ride 100 more. What you donate to children's cancer research so kids don't suffer anymore. So I have all of that running through just a normal microphone cable, XLR cable into this. It's a Zoom F6 field recorder. You can put 6 XLR cables into it, microphones at one time, and so that's why I record. And I like it because it's a 32-bit recorder. Not that you probably care about that, but what that means for me is even if I talk really soft or I talk really loud, I can pull back more of that information than I would with a 24-bit recorder, let's say. So it makes it a lot easier for me to edit it out. You're also going to see that I'm holding this little guy, and this is also a recorder. These are microphones up here on the top, and I technically could, there's nothing except for tripping on the cable, there's nothing stopping me from taking this and plugging it in here, but this is that 24-bit mode I was talking about, so it's a little harder to edit because I'm not very good at editing audio. But what I'm using this for in the video is it's just a convenient way for me to listen to something that I've put on SD cards. So I have a little SD card slot. I took the music, went out on YouTube and found a karaoke version of I'm Gonna Be the Man 500 Miles song, and I recorded it. I recorded directly into here off of my computer. So then I was just listening to what I had recorded on here for that karaoke version. So the way this ended up working is the fact that the Proclaimers are twins, and so there's a lead singer and a background singer. And so I went through and recorded the lead singer, and then I had to go back through and kind of add in because the background singer doesn't sing all the time. He just kind of sings harmonies and a couple of the yes. So I had to record both of them, and it took a couple more tries than I wanted, but it was early in the morning, and so fortunately, the more I tried, the better my voice got, even though it's still pretty bad. But here's just a little montage of what the recording process was like doing those two with a little bit of the goofs. For any more da 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 da. The last one, I accidentally started singing da 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 instead of won't you donate? Be the man who acts a fool for you when I'm a. Oh no! I used to sing a lot, and I was good at singing, I thought. I was decent, halfway. I was okay. Anyway, singing is definitely a use it or lose it, because I don't sing very much anymore, and I can't sing very well anymore. And I'm pretty sad about that, but here I am, hoping that in editing, I can make myself sound slightly better. But I would ride 200 miles and I would ride 100 more. I don't know if the microphone's picking up me tapping. I find it a lot easier to sing when you're stomping your feet and bobbing your head. Like, it's probably really bad for the microphone because you're going, But just to stand here and try to sing on beat to this song is hard. You got to start. Yeah. But I would walk 500 and get the arms pumping and you stomp and the microphone's picking it all up. It's my third go. When I'm recording, I can't have any fans or anything going because it'll be picked up by the microphone. And so that means I'm in here and it is currently 80 degrees in here. And so I'm sweating my butt off. All right, so now I'm going to lay down the background track, the twin track, because the Proclaimers are actually twins. I thought it was the same guy, and they they recorded the one guy and then recorded the other guy, which is what I ended up doing in the music video. But no, it's they're twins. So I'm going to sing lower, and hopefully it plays out well. I keep saying well. This sounds like crap, but to you. When I act a fool. And when I grow old, be the man who grow old too. I would ride one. When I cycle for any more. So at this point, I thought I was still doing the same type of music video that I did last year, where it was just going to be me singing into a camera, and the big difference was going to be that I was using original lyrics. But as I was kind of going through the process of editing the green screen parts of the video, I'm like, I can make an actual music video from this. And fortunately, it turned out to be easier than expected because I realized I had 3 months worth of footage of me riding a bike from a training plan video that I haven't released yet, but I realized I had all these shots of me going in slow motion and up hills and sweating and working and drone shots that I could turn into a music video. And so that filled a lot of the B-roll that you ended up seeing as stuff that I had shot the previous 3 months over the course of the summer. We're going to talk about editing audio now. Now that I'd recorded the raw voice portion of the video, I needed to take that and turn it into the final song. So that way then I could go and record the lip singing portion of the video, because you can't know what you're going to sing until you've edited out the actual song. So this was how I made the final song. I'm not very good at using audio editing software, and so I just ended up using Adobe Premiere Pro, which is my video editing software. It actually is a pretty competent audio editor as well, and it's more intuitive to me in terms of cutting stuff up and editing things. So you're going to see here I have 3 different tracks. A1 is the music track that I recorded the karaoke version off of YouTube. A2 is the lead singing track, and A3 is the backup singing track. So here's just what the music sounded like all by itself. Sounds just like the Proclaimers' I'm Gonna Be song. But what I needed to do now was make my singing sound not so raw. Because when you listen to it here,
ride 200 miles and I would ride.
I mean, obviously that doesn't sound good, but it also doesn't sound right. Like, if you've ever gone to a karaoke bar and thought, wow, I sound really good, it's because they've processed your voice a little bit. Usually good karaoke DJs will do that. Is that what they're called? Karaoke DJs? Anyway, the main thing that they add is some reverb. So that's the first thing I did, was add some reverb to get rid of the rawness of my voice. So
miles and I would ride 100 more. Won't you donate to children's cancer research so kids don't suffer anymore?
So it's not much, and I probably could have done a better reverb, but that's the one I kind of picked. But just kind of lengthens out your noises that are coming out of your mouth so that they flow better and just sound more song-like, because microphones are very sharp and short. Even singing in person doesn't sound the same as through a microphone, so you have to add a little bit of reverb. The next thing I did was add a single band compressor, and what that does is it takes the loudest parts of your voice and the quietest parts of your voice and kind of mushes them together so that it's not so, what's he saying? Oh my god, that's really loud. It puts them on even footing. So let's just listen to that real fast with that off and then on.
200 miles and I would ride 100 more. Won't you donate to children's cancer research so kids don't suffer?
So it's not huge, but you can just kind of tell it made it not quite fluctuating in volume so much. And so then the last thing I added was some de-esser, and that just removes the s when you say S's. And it can be kind of jarring, especially if someone has a whistly S. The de-esser just removes that. Then the other thing I had to do, you're going to see these little gaps in here. That's because my microphone's so sensitive that it was picking up my breaths. And so every time I breathe, I don't have a clip of it right now, but every time I breathe, you could hear me. Any more? Won't you donate? You could hear that breath intake, so I had to cut out every single breath from my songs. And then I went down here and did basically the same thing with the B track. And so you end up getting something like this with, here's just the music and the main track. And then if we add in the backup track, and then you just record all of that out into a final MP3 file. And then next we're going to go downstairs where my green screen is and record the green screen work. So I've just got camera with the green screen and then a little Bluetooth speaker connected to my phone. And so I'll just be playing the tracks off of that and singing along, because it doesn't matter if I actually sing or lip sing, because I'm not going to use the audio that I'm recording right now anyway. I just need to make sure it matches what the final track is.
When I raise funds, when I know I'm gonna be the man who's raising funds for you. When I fall down,
Oh my lord.
I know I'm
One more problem is the fact that I realized I don't really know the lyrics. And so I'm hoping this will be enough of a cue to get me to be able to keep looking at the camera and quickly look what verse I'm on as I go along. Okay, so now I'm in a different shirt. I can't remember if both of them wear glasses. I think they do, but I took off the glasses just to make it slightly different. So it looks like I'm trying to be a different person, a twin. The B singer plays a guitar, so I've got a guitar that's missing a string out of storage. And I'm going to attempt to remember when to sing the B parts. It'll probably take a couple tries as well. But he also faces, this way a lot when he sings. And so he does both. So I guess I'm going to record one kind of facing this way and one facing this way, and we'll kind of cut them together.
Yeah!
Oh, that's really hard. I need to just do the final mix with both of us singing. That's really hard.
When I raise funds, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's raising funds for you.
I missed it.
Well, I know I'm gonna be the man who rides his bike for you. When I raise funds, yeah, I know I'm gonna be, as I do, I'll pass along every penny of it to you.
Oh.
And when I act a fool, just cancer research so kids don't suffer anymore.
Right, got it. Now that I've finished recording the green screen portion of the video, it's time to take it back into the video editing software and remove the green screen. So I'll show you how that is done very quickly here. Let me just switch over. So, pulled up one of the cuts here. You can see it's me in front of a green screen. And the way to do this is, it's pretty simple. What I first do is do a crop, and that just crops off everything that's not the green screen. And you just have to make sure as you go through the video that you never crop outside your arm or whatever, never goes outside of that crop that I've done. You can see I can make it bigger and smaller, so I've just got it close, and that just makes it easier for you to get your green screen, your chroma keying done. And then you use something in Premiere called Ultra Key. And you can see I've already got it working, but there are all these settings in here that you can tweak, and you just kind of dial it in until it looks pretty good. But the problem is, you notice I have a pretty big harsh shadow. You normally don't want to do that, but my green screen setup is nothing good, so I have shadows all over the place. So even though I've keyed this to where it looks like it's not there, I might still have some shadows that are showing up. So I just add this white. It's just literally a white picture, pure white, and turn that on behind it, and you can see there's some shadow there, but it actually ended up not showing in the final video because just the way shadows work. Because when I switch over, then we can see I left that white on. This is the final music video. If I turn that white layer back off and go back to here, that little bit of shadow just shows up on the twins' shirt, and it almost makes it look more natural. So I didn't get rid of all of the shadow, but some of the big harsh ones over here that didn't make sense, I could only see those by adding a white layer to it. So that is, I believe, that layer. And each one of these is a layer of video stacked on top of each other. So like I said, that is just the lead singer, and this one here is going to be the backup singer. And again, exact same thing. I've keyed them out, but you see I cropped myself off a little bit. And that's just because beyond that, there's no green screen. And so I couldn't actually use keying to get rid of that. So I just ended up having to crop out to where the green screen started, and you see that it's then cut. But I just did some fancy moving around of the video so that I'm lined up on the edge of the screen, and then that one, where that part of the arm is cut off, well, it's hidden behind that guy. The other thing I had to do was because sometimes for one recording, I was standing closer to the camera, and other times I was standing further away from the camera, so I had to come here and change the size so it kind of looked like we were the same person standing, one standing behind the other. I think I always made dark shirt Jason slightly shorter just to really tie it all in that we're different people. And then continuing on down here, I have this background, which is actually a video. I just went out. I didn't want to just stand in front of the same thing all the time, so I went out and recorded just a little bit of grass. So it's actually a live video. It's actually moving in the background. And yeah, and then I just kind of pop people in and out, and there's the side view. And so like I said, these recordings were all from a training video I did, where I did a 90 days to mountain biking training video plan. Again, that background is literally taken from that training video. I was holding a GoPro as I rode my bike, and just to kind of make things different, put people in front and in back. That again from the training plan, I had that recorded already, so it really worked out well that I had all of that pre-recorded. And so then you just record it and make sure you keep changing it about every 3 seconds. That's about how long someone's attention span is. You got to change things up every 3 seconds or so. Cut to different things that I'm talking about. Again here, and then 3 seconds later, we switch to something else. And the thing is, you see here, if I go back to this guy, I didn't do it all in one take. I had to do it in multiple takes. So here's one take. And here's another take, even though you can't hardly tell. It's actually 2 takes. And so anytime I had one of those where I would shift a little bit, that's also a great place to cut away. And then when you cut back, it can be a completely different take, and no one's going to know because your cut happened behind this B-roll. So not only does it add interest to your music video, it also hides things pretty well. One final thing is a little behind the scenes thing. This part where I'm talking about when I feel sad, well, I feel sad for you or whatever. This is actually me crying. I was on a 50-mile mountain biking trip. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, and I'd just seen something pretty tragic and was exhausted. And so yeah, I'm actually crying there. I will be releasing a video about this race along with this 50-mile, or with this training plan video that I talked about. That's where all these other cuts like that's from a training plan video, a 90-day mountain biking training plan. I'll be releasing a video on that. So go ahead and follow me on my normal channels to see when those come out. And this one I am actually happy because I'm starting out on my first 50-mile ride ever, and I completed that. So 2 different 50-mile rides. One I'm crying and one I'm super happy. Anyway, so that is basically how a music video is done. You record the music, which I got off of YouTube. You record the singing. You record the other singing. You pretty those up and layer them on top of each other. You produce your final output. Then you go back and you play that and you sing along to it, lip sing along to it. I found I got better looking audio or visuals by actually singing. If I just try to lip sing, it didn't look as real because you don't get the throat strain and the bulging veins when you're singing really loud. It looks more realistic if you actually sing out loud, I find. And you take all of those in, you clean up the background, you stack them on top of each other, you add some cuts, and there's your music video. So with that, that is the behind the scenes if I made this year's I Would Ride 300 Miles song. I want to thank all of my supporters. We made the $1,000 goal, which is amazing, which is why this video got released. I appreciate that. I couldn't have done it without you. I also rode the 300 miles, and it was harder than I expected in the months of September, but we got it done. Next year, I will be doing the same thing, so I hope that you can find the means and plan ahead to help us reach this goal again together. But that's going to do it. Again, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.